All right, welcome everybody. We're really excited to bring to you a little bit of a different video this time around. We're going to be discussing some of our favorite Pokemon influencers that we have been admiring secretly or maybe overtly admiring. Yeah, welcome to the video. We're excited to have you. Andy, when we were talking about thinking about influencers and people in the space and people in Pokemon. What got you thinking about this? What made you want to kind of cover these influencers?
Sure. I felt like it would be disingenuous of us to not thank these people who inspired us to do this. It didn't just come out of nowhere. And, we've all known about Pokemon and all this stuff, but when it activated in my mind to do this, I was definitely leaning on some of these influencers who are just amazing. I mean, the amount of time they put in, the amount of energy, the personalities, it's just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that I'm always interested when I'm watching people, whenever they talk about other creators that they're interested in. I love hearing about it because more than likely, if I like following them and they show me somebody new or just give a shout out to, like you said, people who've really paved the way. In a certain type of content in a vein or a path, it's all around really good. Let's jump into it. I'm excited to talk about. We're going to be talking about three creators today, three that have really caught our eye. Honestly, just like how Andy said, really inspired us. To be honest, there when we were first talking about making this channel, we were kind of like, well, how are we going to make content? What do we like? What would we like to bring to the table that people are maybe not covering full time or sort of covering? And yeah, we came up with three. And the first one, that truly the first creator we were watching, observing, learning from, was PokiChloe. We are
Yeah,
big
absolutely.
fans. Take it away, Andy. What drew you to
Yeah.
PokiChloe?
We talked in some other videos or other areas about the beginnings of all of this, and it was pretty much a period of time where I was on YouTube and things were popping up. Are you interested in, elephants? Are you interested in, soap? Whatever.
Yeah.
And there was PokeChloe, and so personable, and she was so approachable, and she invited you into her store, her TCG store, and I felt so welcome there. I felt so relaxed, and what was really cool as well was that I felt like I could watch and I could walk away and come back. It was like she was in her store and you could engage with her, you could leave, but it was a really happy place. And when I watched it, I realized YouTube and myself knew I needed to be in a really happy place.
Yeah. Yeah. I same. The vibe she gives off is so welcoming. She truly engages with people who are engaging with her, which is also really exciting to see. I tend to be a silent follower. I don't comment a lot. I don't engage a lot. And when I do, it's usually because I'm really interested or I've thought about something to say. And so when a creator engages back, even if I'm not the one talking, it just, yeah, makes me feel welcome to be there even as an observer. Yeah, it's been really interesting to see how involved she's been in this space and how she's involved and she travels for events and how she's I believe she's dabbled a little bit in the Chinese Pokemon card market, right?
She does, but it's very light.
Yeah.
What's really cool is all of these different stores. whether it's retail or, and I visited a few in the US recently, they almost always have Japanese cards.
Yeah.
And of course, there's an homage to Japanese Pokemon cards because where did it come from but Japan, right?
Yeah.
Originally. But there's something that I think is really interesting with her is she's very open, like you say, to new things. She has a great store. I saw One Piece sign in her store,
Yeah.
so she's
Nice.
not just Pokemon. But what's really cool about PokiChloe, besides her personality and everything else, and really well thought out events that she presents,
Yeah.
but that, it's a journey for her from when she started. So I came in and you came in the middle of the journey where she already had a store, but you
Yeah.
can kind of go back and then see how that developed and the pride she has in her store and things. It's just really cool. She's amazing. She's definitely part of that core team of top influencers. And I think she's amazing. I also really love the fact that she's British. It allows me to, kind of connect with what I really appreciate about Britain and England and things like that. So it's really, she's fantastic.
Yeah, that's I couldn't agree more. I seeing her journey, and like you said, it's not hard to go back and see where she's come from and what she's been doing and how she's grown along the way, which is so, for us, just getting started, it's really inspiring. And so, even though while we're more focused on the Chinese Pokemon card market, we're also nerds in other things. So you know how she's got One Piece in her store. I'm really big into painting Warhammer models and stuff like that. So it's, once you're kind of in a, let's say, like a collector's space in one, you kind of adjacently become interested in others. So it's really cool. Really, really cool
One,
to see that.
absolutely. One thing that she does that's really funny is she comments on certain trends and things. And one of the trends right now is a new game, or I think it's new, where you get to be the owner of a card store.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so you're doing this. It's a hot kind of a game app. And so PokeChloe goes, "Hey, I don't need to play the game. I have a store."
Yeah.
And then in the comments, one of the people on her stream said, "Well, excuse me, PokeChloe, I don't have as much money as you do, so I want to actually play the game, but I love your videos and stuff." So it was a big fan of hers who was like, "Everybody can't be PokeChloe," and that's very true. But it's just, I think PokeChloe has a lot to do with that. The way
Yeah.
she did her store and did it to even she's influencing new games.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah,
Now, Emily, we have, a lot to learn about Pokemon and a lot to learn about Chinese Pokemon. And our next influencer, I think, is someone that we luckily found who has been an amazing teacher to us. Who was that?
Yeah, that's CrystalKollectz. So one thing that stood out to me, and I know for Andy as well, is how extensive her knowledge is on Pokemon. It is like it's so impressive. It's insane. And she goes really into depth on, Asia, of course, and languages and different card markets and stuff. But like, even she'll even touch on like Greece and stuff like that. So she's while she's definitely a deep diver on Asia, and of course we're really focused on China in particular, which has she's really stood out to us. She's kind of into everything and in every market. So yeah, just her understanding of the complexity of Pokemon as kind of even like an alternative like reality in certain situations,
Hmm.
and in how she kind of like explains these things is really really cool. What have you noticed most about her from your perspective, Andy?
Yeah, I mean, her depth of knowledge of Chinese Pokemon cards, and I think that she is focusing on all these different languages. She's a sense of a polyglot. I mean, I think she really When she pronounces Chinese, she does it really well. And I don't know if she is Chinese or not. Maybe Krystal can reply to this video. We would love to connect with you. But she's also, does a lot of Korean cards and things like this. But what's always been interesting to me about her videos is not only is she very on time, so she has her own retail site where you can get these international cards, but she's ready to unbox like day one. And I'm going to the official store in Shanghai where it should be the first place you can get them in the world. And there is the same day in a different part of the world, Krystal's opening up these packs for the audience, which is amazing. But she also is incredible in terms of how she's played the game for all of these years. And she's been on this journey of Pokemon. China Pokemon is very new.
Yeah.
Yes, we had Hong Kong and Taiwan, but to the simplified in mainland China, it's very new. So as we are new, it's amazing to have someone like PokiChloe who not only played the game, so she really has a deep connection with all these Pokemon, but at the same time, she knows the artists of the cards. She gets into it like, this is my favorite artist. This artist has a background, and I'm just like, wow. So I love the depth of knowledge, but I also love how she delivers it. She delivers it in a really a welcoming way, not a I know more than you kind of a way. She comes in, she's really a teacher. She said she's in the medical field, so she cares about people. She's great, and I really think that we've learned a lot from her, and hopefully we can connect with her to build more of a bigger community about Chinese Pokemon cards.
Yeah, we affectionately refer to her as Queen Krystal because she is
Queen
just
Crystal.
so knowledgeable and so on top of it. So good at what she does. So yeah, that's we love you, Krystal. um,
Queen
ne-
Crystal.
yeah. So next, our third and final influencer that's really caught our eye for a very different reason. Who is that, Andy?
That is Pat Flynn, and his site is Deep Pocket Monster. And my goodness, he has not just influenced us, but he has to be one of the top influencers in the space. Of course, there are many great influencers that we're not mentioning here. These are the three that really impacted us the deepest,
Yeah.
pun intended, on Deep Pocket Monster. But Pat is someone who learned about influencing before he was in the Pokemon world. And just to give a basic beginning, he's written books, and he has a book called Super Fans. And I read the book after I, met him through Pokemon. Great book, really good at how you build your fan base and things like this. We have a lot to learn, Anne-Marie, from him on
Yep.
this. But the fact that he is looking at this community and trying to build it, it gets really deeply emotional to me at times where he's connecting with young kids at the card shows. Young kids are running up and they really care about him and they give him a card when he's trying to complete sets and things. It's just really amazing. And he just is the perfect dad, I think, in this community. I'm a dad. I had my son. I love to connect to my son, and I hope to someday be a grandfather. And connecting in all these different ways that really, it's warm, but it's also really committed. And he also has sometimes where he says, I have a full-time job doing these other things, and he mixes in his Pokemon with business trips and other things like this. So he's really
Yeah.
an amazing influencer. But the big thing is he started Card Party.
Okay.
Card
Yep.
Party is something that he built like a convention for Pokemon cards and Pokemon card collectors. And it's really exciting. Check it out. We'll drop a link below about Card Party. He's already done three of them. He's doing it more and more and more. It's really becoming exciting. But one of the things that I find really interesting is when he does his videos, he adds a lot of stuff. So, for example, he talks about a retailer in New York City called Pokecourt. And one of his videos, he took out a Chinese New Year envelope, red envelope, and he goes, I'm going to give these out to people who talked to me during this card show he was at. And I'm like, my God, that's Chinese homeball red envelope. That's us all over the place. In fact, Pokey, I can put up a picture of it or a link below, but that we actually are Year of the Snake. That's why we're Snake Pit Collectibles, and it's really amazing how he introduced Pokecourt, and then I actually bought some things from Pokecourt
Oh,
because
cool.
Pat introduced it, and then I got VaultX binders because
Yep.
that's a big thing with him. So he's really in the community giving us all these great videos, inspiring videos, but at the same time he's really giving us all these extra things in the community to be aware of. So huge thanks to Pat for everything he does. And he's also from San Diego, Padres fan,
Nice.
Padres fan. So he's Pat's great.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. So these are, so I can testify because you were influenced by Pat, and then adjacently, I was influenced. I just got my first, I'll pull it up here. I just got my first VaultX binder, and we're going to start figuring out how to best organize all of this as we're exploring the Chinese card market. And so, yeah, these have been three just really awesome, clearly very well known influencers in this space, but they have been really like lighthouses for us as we kind of navigate this journey into sharing the Chinese card market with everyone else. Everything from, like we just said, organizing it and figuring out what works to going really deep into the Asian Pokemon market and helping to more inform us even of our own journey through the Chinese card market. And then having that relatability, the welcoming vibe that, from PokiChloe, like, each of these influencers are really great at what they do. And we will be continuing to follow them throughout their journey and learn from them and like try to help us again navigate as we're like little baby influencers on YouTube right now in this space. So yeah, these are our favorites. Let us know what you think. Who are yours that you follow in this space? Comment down below. Yeah, and we look forward to hanging out.
When you think about the influencers, I was watching the his shorts,
Yeah.
which Pat makes these short videos, which actually people I think know better than his long videos, but that's a shame because both are amazing. But I watch the shorts, and sometimes I use headphones, and sometimes I don't. But when I don't, it's kind of whatever I'm watching is kind of in my house, and my wife is coming and going. And I won't ever forget that after I was watching some of Pat's short videos, I was walking by the kitchen, and in the background, I heard my wife singing, "Should I open it or should I keep it sealed?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, what happened to my wife?" She suddenly was influenced by Pat to decide whether she should spend. And I went, "Oh my God," like they go in the videos. Like my wife has become a Pat fan. So if Pat can influence my wife, he can influence anybody.
He's infectious. He knows what he's doing. He's good at what he
Knows what he's
does.
doing.
So that's awesome. All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. We look forward to seeing you in the next video. Again, comment down below. Let us know who you're following and why. Why do you like them? What is it that draws you to them? If there's anybody else that we should be on the lookout for and watching, we'd love to hear from you on that. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, share this with your friends, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.